Okay. All right, let's see. Yep, everything's looking good there. How is everyone today? What was her name again? Micri Farilla? Okay, so since Micri is now the species name, let's go with Farilla. Silvermane? Yeah, let's go with High Mother Farilla Silvermane. Hello, Vast! Welcome in! How are you doing today? I hope you're having a great one. I got the planking done in the basement today, by the way. That's finally out of the way. Does it? I'm glad to hear. Yes. The basement is now all finished, except I have to, well, not all finished. The flooring is. I have to go and get the wall siding done. How have things been on your end, since we're both out to move soon? That sounds a bit early. Ouch. It's worth it, though, to get out of that place, though. Yeah. I'm on pace to be ready, without too much trouble. And, pretty excited. It's kind of a leap, in some ways. Far from my least stable transition, but, I'm still running on reserves, so despite the amount of reserves, it's always that feeling of like, not the best planned out when you don't have a regular stream of income, but that'll change pretty soon. Were there other names? Oh, whoops, I already gave them a name. That's alright. I like this one better. Oh, I must have remembered the name decently well. Sorry if I'm going quiet for a bit, chat. Trying not to let my yawns be too audible. Now it's Ulevant and Nirva. Ulevant, Urfrid, and Nirva. How did I spell that? There. Let's see. So, right now, it's meant to mostly be meet the team, but I haven't really thought out that too much. What I might do is put this section on hold, prep up the next section for humanity, and before I come back to finish this up, flesh out what I want the characters' archetypes to be. What, this shit? This is just a draft. This is terrible. What do you mean? Oops. Note to self. Do not play with knives while distracted. Well, thank you. Now, do I want them to wait and be prepared for first contact, or do I want something to happen that forces them to go when they're not ready? If they're not ready for it, I'll have to have more work when it comes to the first contact, keeping things and planning out how it does end well, because it'll be in conflict. But it'll be in conflict, so there'll be more suspense. Yeah, let's find something to figure out what triggers. I could go with the original plan I had back when I made this. But I want to put the hive off for a later bit until I flesh them out more. I could do pirates. Yeah. That could work. Why not have some pirates go off?
And his name is John C.
Hello and welcome in, Justin. How are you doing today? Thank you for the John Cena redemption. Everyone does like space pirates. Is it topographical? Maybe it's topographical. What would it be when you're talking about like geological surveys, but in space? Oh, it's astrogeology. That makes sense. No. I'll do that. Oops. Exoplanetary survey. That could also work. Though it's really doing it more for the entire system, so it would be planetary. I could do intra-system survey. That'll work. You either absolutely did amazing on your exam today, or absolutely bombed it. Well, I'm going to hope for the former. Oh, looking forward to spring break for you then. Alright, so... Alright, yes, get me out of this college campus. I haven't gone anywhere beyond a 15... Yeah, that checks. That checks out very much. Let's see. Hmm. All right. Let's see. Awesome. I look forward to getting into it as well then. And I will get into it, Justin. It's just a busy time frame. Um, Hopefully I will be able to get into it tomorrow, as I won't be writing. Tomorrow is my day off from writing, so hopefully I can use that time to look into the story. That should work out well. Okay, hang on. No, guys. Vast. You're a better writer than me. What are you talking about? Yeah. Syntax is how the prose is actually written, yes. Hmm. Oh, Vast is cooking. Alright. Do 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 do. Sorry. The thought came to mind and I had to. I had to. Let's see. Yeah, I know I misspelled that. How was that spelled? AR. Oh, no, there was no pun in the setup. It's just I took your start and I added on to it. She stopped, turned, stared at him for stretching moments that careened into awkwardness. Other side. As the awkwardness reached a point where I could bear it no longer, I broke the silence. Was the pun really that bad? Nah, it's all good. Hmm. And it was it Control Shift E? Yes. I think that'll do nicely, actually. Huh. No, progress has been going pretty okay. Here's part one, I suppose. Let's see. How do we do? For our draft. $350, 3,500 words. Not bad for a draft and a part. Can live with that. Alright, let's start drafting out part two. Wait, was part one itself first contact? First contact art. Okay. That's right. So now we're into part two. Which, how did I plan that out again? Story breakdowns, plots, first contract, part one intro. I have not planned it out. Okay. Neat. That would be the pantser in me, for sure. This is a heading 3, so let's make this section a heading 4. Yeah. Syntax edits are a touchy thing, Justin, because they're very much tied to the style and approach of a writer. But the comments I would expect from Vass and I will most likely be touching on, like, your intents for, like, story, plot, and stuff that would be like, oh, would this make more sense otherwise? Just because of how much, like, the style of writing is important to a writer. Yeah, I mean, putting down something like this area feels wordy, there is some syntax aspect of it, like... Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Vast. Well, let's first cover what this part is going to be. So we've had part 1, setting it up. Part 2, the pirate attack on humanity. Set up. Arrival. Attack. Humanities. Response. Federation. Response. I think that'll do okay. Let's give a section for each of these because this thing has a weird glitch bit where it does not like to have anything. Oops, not that. Heading 4, it is Control Alt number. Okay. So setup, Control Alt 4. Alright, let's see. Yeah, and I'll be doing the same. You know, ever since I've started writing like it's an engineering project, it's been going a little bit better for me. What's the message? Or what's the project? The thing you're building. Cool. What parts do you need to make it work? What are the key components of those parts? I feel like I'm making a car, breaking it down into each little screw sometimes. What do you mean, Justin? Some more context. Yada, yada. Oh, you mean you don't know how to do your hook? Okay, well that's a different question. Um, if you have your first scene ready, my advice mixing in for like the hook is twofold, because you want your hook to tie into your plot as well, but it doesn't. I've done hooks without knowing where my plot was going, but it's still best if it can support the overall plot. So my thought would be, have kind of like a rough mental summary for yourself on how you would describe your book, like your back page summary of your book, its plot, and like how it is. And then when you're starting your book, a hook will often be either like scenic or characteristic. So like, let's go up. Where did I start here? Nope, that's short story 1 template. Tales of part 1. This doesn't really count as a hook, but it's helpful. It already gets the reader kind of interested because it deepens the immersion. And it helps me as a writer, because I'm not that great of a writer, and trying to create different like syntaxes and stuff is annoying. But then here is, the demonstration was today. It had been a long time coming, but we had finally finished humanity's first faster-than-light drive. The megastructure sat in the outer orbit of Earth, a 10-kilometer radius by 1 kilometer depth by 2 kilometer width ring. It would take almost an entire day for ships preparing to departure. It's a section that kind of like draws you into the world. It makes you want to keep reading. Let's see. When does a human become a soldier? When does a soldier become a hero? When does a hero become an icon? That's a hook, dude. That makes you curious and want to read further. That's a hook. That's good. Control Shift E, and then we want humanity. Who do we want from humanity for this section? It's going to be, what was their acronym? I had it. United Peoples of Soul. United Peoples of Soul. Oh, you'll get a kick out of this one, Vast. I deliberately made it the United Peoples of Soul, both because it fit and it sounds nice as a whole, so that could be UPS. Humanity is UPS. If the trouble is your transition from that hook to your first scene, have the first scene reflect your hook. When does a human become a soldier? When does a soldier become a hero? When does a hero become an icon? And then you could either go where it's like a beginning, where it's kind of like the motivation for your main hero, as they're maybe reading a recruitment page or something that really drives them into the military, or it's like a flash forward scene where it's some sort of important emotional, etc. Yeah, a lot like what Vass is saying. UPS. I have such a dumb sense of humor. Fucking UPS. That works, Justin. Particularly trench warfare? Yeah, that works. You have that as your hook, and you go straight into the trenches? Yeah, that's a good transition. Did a rune have a... Nope, it's a rune. Just a rune. That's what I thought. It was Control-Shift-L? Yes. Alright, tab over. How do I want a rune to talk? So Tyr is kind of like empathetically eloquent, high-taught, etc. And that's Tyr. Silvermane is very industrious, very to the point, very cheerful because of ambassadorial. So she's rather direct and to the point. A rune is like the mediator. A rune gives off Obi-Wan vibes, but is a biosynth designed to be able to empathize with sapient beings and teach. So a rune would probably talk mentally in a fairly eloquent prose with a philosophical lean, I think. Oh, no, I picked a rune because it's, like, Hindi for new birth. Hang on. I feel like that's a bit of a clash. Because you're going from, like, when does it... Like, I could see it working, maybe, depending on its execution, but it feels, like, ideologically a bit of a clashing. When does a human become a soldier? When does a soldier become a hero? When does a hero become an icon? Incoming! Sergeant yelled as he quickly gunned down by machine gun fire. Rather than... Yeah, it feels like the incoming hits first, and then as you're staring at all of these corpses around you... Actually, what if you broke it up? I don't want to tell you how to write your story. What if you broke it up? What if you broke it like this? Incoming! The sergeant yelled as he was quickly gunned down by marine gun fire. Shaking, I grabbed my gun. My hands are white knuckle. Looking around, all I see is smoke and corpses and blood. When does a man become a soldier? Or when does a human become a soldier? Sorry. Gulping down, you charge forward and enter the trench. As you begin to clear the trench and others rally around you. Breaking a paragraph. When does a soldier become a hero? And then, like, each paragraph reinforces that hook. Now that's just an idea. I don't want to tell you how to write your story. That's just something that came into my mind as I was reading. Let's see. We were going... Alright, so... Alright, let's go back. Fundamentally, a novel or narrative asks and answers a question through change and character growth or lack of. Like for my unwritten sci-fi series, it's at what point does a people pleaser finally say no and prioritize herself? You have limited power, you still be a good person. Does power always go? Those only get answered in the outline of books 2 and 3. In the outline, in books 2 and 3. Book 1 is her realizing those are questions she should be asking herself. Yeah. Alright, so Arun is setting up the prelude to humanity's rise in this paragraph. But we don't want that to be more than a hint. So let's break the paragraph. Leave a note to myself. Now change and focus on presence story. They only get a hint. Actually, hang on. One paragraph speaking of humanity. is an experiment for seeing how it affects this section. All right. I will ramble if I don't set that restriction. There is a whole story in that backdrop, and I am not going to get into it right now. All right, let's get this started up. Hey, I wonder if there's a way to get the Nightbot, like, sub authority? I find it unfortunate that it doesn't have it as a mod, but oh well. Verified subwoofer bot. Wait, is my Nightbot even moderated? I don't know. All right, let's look for someone to raid. I know they end around this time. They aren't writing. What we could do is we can raid. It's not going to be a writer, unfortunately, but they are a very chill streamer. So I think it'll be okay and you'll all enjoy. We will raid Maruka Ko, who is an awesome streamer and a really chill person. So let's get that set up. Messed up that raid, sorry. And as that gets prepared, thank you wow, I can talk today. Thank you everyone so very much for coming in. I always appreciate it when you tune in. You all have an amazing day and stay awesome.